Ako. Professor, um, may napansin lang po kasi ako no dun sa pag-usad ng confirmation of charges hearings. Kasi the first 2 days dun sa prosecution, 'di ba napansin natin
Hmm,
Ivan, parang pinapasa hindi lamang si Deputy Prosecutor Mame Niang ang
mm,
nagsasalita, kundi parang may mga punto pinasa niya kina Attorney Robin Croft, Edward Jeremy, pati na
yes.
si Julian Nichols. Pero so far today sa depensa, ang naririnig lang
One-man
natin,
show.
yes, Attorney Nicholas Kaufman.
Yes.
Tingin niyo po ba by design po ba 'yon? Or traditionally po ba pagdating sa depensa, iisa lamang talaga ang tumatayo?
Yung analysis ko sa team kasi ni President Duterte, yung isa academic, usually gano'n sa defense, eh. Meron kang o kahit sa defense ano. So
Mhm.
si, Professor Dobbs actually, yung partner ni, Attorney Kaufman is not a full-time, practicing lawyer. He's an
Ah,
academic, no.
okay.
Hmm,
So kumbaga hindi
So,
po siya trial
actually,
lawyer na nagsasalita sa
yeah,
courtroom.
actually he is, the one who before this case, became part of the ICC, this proceeding itself, siya yung nag-theorize na yung question ng jurisdiction ng, korte. Kasi
Hmm,
sabi niya kasi nakalagay sa Rome Statute ay judicial proceedings, eh, since nung nag-withdraw yung Pilipinas, nasa preliminary examination pa lamang ito ng, ah, prosecutor, office of the prosecutor, hindi ito yung judicial proceedings na sinasabi sa Rome Statute. Kaya wala ng jurisdiction yung, korte, nung magkaroon ng grant ng preliminary investigation authority yung pre-trial chamber.
mhm.
hmm.
Ah, may isa pa po akong tanong 'no, Professor, kasi nabanggit kanina ni Attorney Panelo, si Attorney
Yes.
Panelo ata nagsabi na yung jurisdiction at any point,
Puwedeng
during the
i-raise, oo.
hearings or maybe later on in the trial, pwede daw i-bring up. Tama po ba 'yun? At any point pwede pa ring, i-revisit,
Questionin, yes,
oo,
oo.
yung etong
Well,
question ng jurisdiction?
may specific rules kasi yung, ICC dito ano. Yung unang point kasi, yung unang procedures kasi hindi pa kasama dito si Presidente Duterte, yung gobyerno pa lang ng Pilipinas, yung
Mhm.
Article 15 challenge na doon sa preliminary examination na unang, nagkaroon ng desisyon doon yung appeals chamber. Sabi ng appeals chamber, merong pagkakataon yung pangulo na i-address to specifically pagdating na dito sa issuance ng arrest warrant or itong process
Mhm.
na 'to under Article 19 man ng Rome Statute. So yun yung una niyang pagkakataon na i-raise yung question. Kasi magkaiba yung proceedings dun. Yung unang proceedings talaga hindi pa partido yung pangulo, yung presidente ay yung Pilipinas
Hmm,
as state party. Nung nagkaroon na ng arrest warrant at na, surrender at inarest si Pangulong Duterte, yun yung first time niya. At that's actually what the defense did. They challenged the jurisdiction before the pre-trial chamber, and the chamber said pre-trial
mhm.
Attorney?
before the
Ayan.
chamber. Yes.
Alright, alright. Medyo
Napuputol-putol lang
napuputol.
kasi, attorney, yung signal ninyo. Are you there? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can
Yan,
hear
yan.
you. Can you hear
Ayan.
me?
Ayan,
Yeah,
ayan.
so I was saying actually na in the Rome Statute, medyo defined kasi yung rules. Yung unang procedure kasi, hindi pa partido si Pangulong Duterte doon as a respondent, no? It was the government of the Philippines when the question of jurisprudence was first raised. Nagkaroon lang siya ng pagkakataon na i-question ito nung siya ay inaresto na. At ito nga yung ginawa kaagad-agad ng depensa. Nag-file sila ng motion to challenge the jurisdiction of the court, no? At dininay ito ng pretrial chamber. Kaya naka-apela ito ngayon sa appeals chamber.
Mhm,
Mhm.
mhm.
Attorney, kanina may binabanggit kayo yung, you were surprised na hindi ito binring up ng prosecution. Itong, sinasabi
Manual
ng
operator.
depensa na hindi nga walang Supreme Court ruling about this, ano ba 'to, this memorandum or this order. Ah, bakit ho mahalaga? Again, please walk us through the importance of that particular document or that particular order para po sa kaso ng prosecution.
Una kung gusto kong maging malinaw, no? Kasi I just recall that Attorney Kaufman was referring to a 2022 version of the document, no?
Okay.
So I'm not actually sure what version we're talking about here, because the one that was in operation, that was applicable when Senator Bato was PNP chief, was the 2000 version, no? And when I searched for that online, I couldn't find it anymore.
Mhm.
Now, Attorney Kaufman was referring to a new version
Mhm.
that has a definition of utilization that might be different from the 213 version. But Nevertheless, that's a caveat that I must say now, no, because maybe I haven't looked at the records, but perhaps the prosecution was using a different version. So I cannot say with definitiveness right now kung yun ang situation. Pero may iba't ibang versions kasi. And for
Okay.
all we know, the new version might have corrected the errors of the first one. No? But nevertheless, importante kasi yun dahil may mga requisitos nakalagay doon pag may namamatay sa police operation. No? Kailangan mag-submit ng mga documents as our account by last week was 40 plus. Pre and post operation. Kasama doon yung inquest. And mandatory yun. Tuwing may namamatay sa police operation, kailangan mag-inquest.
Okay.
For 6,000 official deaths nanlaban, sa proceedings sa Supreme Court na binabanggit din ni Attorney Kaufman, wala kahit isang dokumentong na-produce yung PNP. No? So that tells you a lot. No? 6,000 cases of nanlaban, wala kahit isa.
Okay.
And as I said, I noted, each case should have at least 40 documents generated, including an inquest report. Now, who was the PNP chief? Who was the PNP chief at that time? That was Bato. Who was the DOJ secretary who was in charge of the agency in charge of inquest? Attorney Vitaliano Aguirre. So
Okay.
those things would be important from the perspective of the prosecutor.
So what does that prove, attorney? What will that prove?
Diba, meron kasi obligasyon nung time na yun, we were still under the Rome Statute to investigate the killings that are cognizable by the International Criminal Court. Yun yung principle ng complementarity, tayo muna. At ang nakalagay doon kasi sa obligasyon sa Rome Statute, hindi yung mga foot soldiers ang imbestigahan, sino yung mga brains, sino yung most guilty.
Okay.
No? Kasi yung design ng ICC, hindi yung mga nag-pull ng trigger. Yung nag-design ng policy, yung
So that-
nag-utos.
That will support the allegation na may policy, na may common
Meron.
plan to
Tama.
carry out the
Yes.
killings.
Yes. Kasi walang investigation. Sino ba dapat imbestigahan nun under the ICC rules? It's the president himself. It's Bato de la Rosa. It's the people who crafted the plan and implemented it at the high levels. No? Yun kasi dapat ang ginawa under the rules of the Rome Statute for purposes of complementarity. But nakita natin sa lumalabas, yung mga pumatay kay Kian, yung mga low-level officers lang. No? At wala kahit isang investigation that was carried out. What is known as the same suspect, same case test. No? Kung sino yung inimbestigahan ng ICC, dapat yun din yung inimbestigahan sa baba. Ngayon sa ICC, sinong inimbestigahan? Yung mga brains behind the policy. Hindi yung mga sarhento, mga korporal. Kung hindi, yung mga nasa itaas. Yun kasi yung design ng international criminal justice with respect to the International Criminal Court.
Professor, ilang beses po tayo nagkaroon ng breaks during these particular hearings, no? Parang ilang beses nagkaroon ng private session, yung tinatawag nilang private session, may mga bahagi ng hearing na talagang redacted. And hindi natin alam kung bakit, hindi natin alam kung ano yung nilalaman. Siyempre, nung bahaging yun ng hearing. Pero what does this tell us about where the discussion is going, where the arguments are headed?
Well, it may just be, some administrative matters that are that the court thinks should only be left to the discussion to a what we call in the Philippines as a sidebar discussion. No, that and the court's discretion decided that at the court discussion, they decided that they should, to make the discussion faster. That it could just be as simple as that.
So,
Also the schedules, perhaps the how the next steps will be taken up. I would hazard that these are the things that were discussed with the court there.
So hindi necessarily sensitive information na magugulat na lang tayo na parang very damning evidence on one part.
Well, not necessary kasi nga, 'di ba, unang-una, lahat naman ng ebidensya nandoon dapat may access lahat. It's just really how the parties will use the evidence.
Attorney, nung opening statement, the Attorney Kaufman, he promised that he will show evidence that is fundamental and crucial para hindi na ho magpatuloy itong hearing nito and not go to trial. Sa tingin ninyo, nailabas ba niya yun o hindi pa?
Well, yung importante para sa akin na malakas yung kanilang argumento, kung hindi mo mahimay ng maayos, yun nga yung sinasabi niya, sa anong sinasabi ninyong policy. Pag binasa yung policy na yan, yung context, may human rights dyan. Huwag niyong sabihin sa amin na that policy is a murderous one because it actually talks about human rights safeguards And the word neutralization there is not about killing, but it actually talks about a range of actions from arrest to the use of force where needed, right? But actually, even that actually, so if you actually look at the details, you will see that in the word neutralization as defined in the document itself, it includes killing, right? And then, so the prosecutor has to show that, well, for all the self-defense cases that you cite, that you say were actually what happened, 6,000, all of them were self-defense cases. All of them were killed. All the people in those operations were killed, which is statistically very questionable to begin with. And then, of course, the evidentiary requirements required by that very manual you cite were not fulfilled by the PNP and the DOJ itself, because it's a two-agency collaboration. Where are the inquest reports for all those 6,000 killings? Nothing was done. Nothing was produced in that Supreme Court proceeding. You also cite as has been running for the last 4 years, or sitting on that case for the last 4 years.
All right. Well, so, Professor, syempre kapag, sinusubukan kasi nating makita yung tinatawag nilang bigger picture. Kasi pangatlong araw na po ito eh. Tapos, although hindi pa tapos, di ba? Dahil meron pang pangatlong bahagi ang depensa sa araw na ito. Can you tell? Nasasabi niyo na po ba kung may lumalamang o hindi?
Well, halimbawa, dun sa common plan, ang argument kasi ni Attorney Kaufman, wala kahit isang testimony. But we know from jurisprudence that for common plans of this sort, where you have high-level of officials making decisions, you don't need an insider witness for that. And as I said earlier, in the cases that we cite, Lubanga, which was the foundational case for this, the policy can be seen from public statements, right? From speeches, from policies. And we have this smoking gun of a policy here that was used to actually implement the double barrel. It's not just one document, but there's the reloaded document, and then there's also the issuance from Malacanang itself, a memorandum. No, so I think the prosecutor was able to show that there was a common plan at least, no. And also pointed out that there are two other modes of liability, yung aiding and abetting. No? So doon sa aiding and abetting, I think there was already evidence to show that the president actually supported. But it's a different theory of liability. These are alternative theories of liability, and they do not necessarily cancel each other out, because you have 3 counts, and in one count you can have aiding and abetting. In another count, you can have direct orders and inducement, and then the last one can be a case of indirect co-perpetration.
So kailangan, attorney, tandaan rin po natin na posible na may confirmation of charges on 1 count, merong
Exactly.
confirmation of charges on 2 counts, pwede rin isa lang ang meron, yung dalawa wala.
And on different modes of liability. Sabi ko nga na pwedeng mix yan. Pwedeng yung isa indirect co-perpetration, yung isa aiding and abetting, yung isa naman ay ordering and inducing. So wag natin kalimutan na may 3 po yung modes of liability na pinag-uusapan dito, at hindi lang indirect co-perpetration.
Ito hong other modes, natatakal na ba ni Attorney Kaufman sa basa ninyo?
Yung sinabi niya kanina na wala namang kahit isang may order, nakarinig na
Ayun
order.
yun, oo.
Doon yun sa ordering and inducing.
Okay.
So yun lang at least yung naaalala ko na
Yes.
in-address ordering
Alright.
and inducing.